The small city of Sapa in northern Vietnam is a place where tourists and local guides meet up and depart on trekking expeditions to the high mountains. I meet Shu Tan, a black Hmong girl.
The weather look like maybe not going to rain, but maybe to be a little bit cloudy.
Cloudy, only cloudy.
Yeah.
She's 22 years old and now works as a professional guide. The black Hmong people speak their own language. Shu Tan very quickly realized the importance of mastering English.
When I see tourists, the first thing I learn, they say hello, hello. You know, in Vietnam, when they do not speak English, they you say hello, where you from, what's your name, how old are you? That's what we say. And that's keeping like this step by step, and then I can speak English. And after around 2004, I became a tourist guide because I can speak English. So my boss, who was the owner of the hotel, who asked me to take the tourists to the village and show them around about my culture. So that's 10. I speak English until now. This is she do the hemp. Hemp is one that do this material here. And after they do this, they use the dyeing. See, this is what they get from the plant. Naturally, it's from the plant. And when they get from the plant, they put in the plant in here around 3 or 4 days. The blue comes out like this one, and they use this for dyeing this material here. This is hemp material. And you see what I wearing this cloth from here, this hemp. You see this is light blue, right? They're getting blue and they're getting dark, like blue indigo color. And they're doing this about 3 months.
How do you see your future? What is your dream?
I had a lot of dreams, but one thing I want to more in the future, I want to see the Hmong people still wear their culture and their traditional clothes and can still speak their language. But one more thing, I want all the children in here, this village, can go to school and learn anything like other people in the city. The people in here, they usually living in the village. Oh, please wait for me a second minute. Hello, should I listen? Yes, I have cell phone and I have mostly I contact with them by email. So by email or by my Facebook. Yes.
Shu Tan has found the right balance between safeguarding her culture and the use of modern communication techniques. She can now bypass the Western and Vietnamese travel agencies who in the past paid her very little money for her services. She now runs her own business.
I think the local people here lives better because when I was young and I didn't have shoes walk, I walked out without shoes and not enough food to eat. But after the tourists, people can sell a little bit thing and they.
The young generation is able to consider the pros and cons of their contact.
This is Lào Cai village in Sapa District, where Mrs. D, who is an expert hemp fabric weaver, has lived since she got married, and where she now has a hemp textile showroom and shop for tourists. Hemp has historically been an important fibre for producing cloth for Hmong in Sapa District, and it's required for different spiritual and cultural practices. Hemp fabric has retained its significance in life cycle events such as marriages, childbirth and funerals. It is also used in certain healing and shamanistic rituals, and is worn during New Year festivities. Although extremely time and labour intensive, Hmong women in Sapa District undertake the entire process of clothes making, from growing both the hemp for the cloth and indigo to dye it, to the production of thread. Women then weave this thread into cloth. This was traditionally done on a backstrap loom, but more often now is on a modern loom with 4 legs, like this one that Dee's husband made for her. Hmong families grow hemp in household gardens. It's planted in March or April, after the family has planted their corn crop for the year. The hemp plants grow until about July and are then cut and dried. And just a note, there's no point trying to smoke this plant. To harvest the hemp, the weather must be sunny and dry, otherwise the cut hemp will break very easily and will not make strong cloth. The hemp is dried for about 1 week, and then the fibres are stripped from the stems. The long strands are collected by hand in bunches, and the fibres are pounded with a stone to improve their flexibility. Then, women will wrap the strands around their waist and start to connect the fibres by carefully joining them and twisting them together. Often they'll do this en route to the market or as they chat with their friends.
We're just starting our trek today. Moon's holding my poles for me. And we got the whole tribe coming with us, I think. The one on the right actually is making some cord. I think some cord for something or other. And the one in the middle with the pink shirt is the one we'll be staying with. And we're starting our 12-kilometer trip. What's it called? No. Mariana?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Marihana. Verihana. I don't know how to say it. I don't understand. So they have this tree. They get this stuff from it.
You know this?
And they make thread that they used to make clothing from.
You see? This that. This I plant this one. I plant for this for mountain. Yes.
You mean this? You mean the
Samila. The Samila.
that?
The Samila, but
The one we found that they smoke?
yes.
Marijuana.
Yeah.
You mean
Yeah.
marijuana? So this is hemp, maybe. Maybe that's what it is. I make a little joint there. No pun intended. Ah, I see what they're doing. She's just joining multiple pieces together to make a long one.
Very easy making.
The fibres then go through a complex procedure of spinning on 2 different types of spinning machines to finally prepare threads of about 4 thread counts, or fibres twisted together. The threads are then boiled many times with water that's mixed with ash to bleach them, with one boiling also including beeswax to help with this bleaching process. The threads are then pressed between a stone and wood for the wax to be pressed into the fibre. Finally, the threads get put back again onto a large spinning wheel-like machine, like this one here, and from this, bowls or buckets of the final fibre are carefully collected. Then it's put onto spools for the weaving process. Dee started preparing her hemp threads to load onto the loom rod, which is technically called the warp beam, and then onto her loom at 7 a.m. this morning. She uses a loom comb, which is also known as a reed in technical terms, to make sure that the threads do not tangle. This process takes quite some time, and some help is always appreciated. There are several superstitions about hemp weaving that Dee takes very seriously. One is that boys or men should not step over the hemp threads during this step of the process. If this happens, the threads will get tangled and will be very difficult to roll up.
She say it's like this 2% is very fast.
Ah.
After a while, Dee decides to change tack, to upload the warp threads of the hemp onto the beam more quickly. Dee gets her daughter to help her attach a wooden plank on her back. She then attaches her beam rotating device to this plank. Dee is able to roll the hemp much faster with this backstrap, but to do this she needs her daughter's help. Her daughter moves the comb and the rods through the hemp threads to make sure that there are no tangles. Working together, Dee and her daughter create over 200 metres of warp thread in 3 hours. Next, Dee and her daughter loop the ends of the hemp warp through dozens of heddles in a shaft. The individual heddles in the shaft are used to separate the warp threads for the passage of the weft thread. The heddles in the shaft move the warp threads up and down on the loom. There are 2 different shafts for her loom. The next step is for the two women to pull the end of the hemp thread through the loom comb.
Finish. You hãy tặng lên lửa nó ngon này.
Finally, the women load the loaded warp threads onto the loom. Everything then gets carefully secured into position.
cũng không phải trả sau nó sẽ liên tục là cho chị tiền đó. Nó không gì để sau nó rồi mà nhớ chị lo lên mà. Sao cũng
Dee uses hemp straws to weave a few times. She does this to make sure that the heddles have been threaded properly in the shafts and that there are no mistakes. If there is a problem, she must undo everything and start over. Luckily, today, everything is okay.
And what are those little wood pieces for?
That's just to try is good to weave it now. Is enough or not yet? It's ready to weave or not yet?
Okay.
Because they don't need the thread, just only the little hemp to try first. It don't be easier to take it out. Chị đó trâu là chị cho nhà mỹ ta kia làm gì nó?
nó cho thật đấy. Tại vì chị phải phải giờ mình cho đấy. Lo.
And that's a little hemp thread?
Yeah, the hemp thread. Yes.
Next, she prepares the shuttle, loaded with hemp thread, and starts to weave. She moves the shuttle back and forth as her feet pedals move the heddles in the two shafts up and down. This creates the woven pattern. And then she's off.
Now start to weave now.
thì cho lên tụi cha chứ nè. Nhà mò. Hả? Có đi con người sáng rồi. Con người đi nó cả đá cái chuối. Dạo ấy chân chân không cả những lại đi. Thì khỏi Sapa đang xuống cái về. Nó lúc mình xuống đây là Sapa ạ. Sapa đang cái rồi.
Dee concluded our weaving discussions with this final comment. If you don't have hemp clothing, you cannot be Hmong. And if you don't know how to weave, you cannot be a good Hmong woman.
Hả?
Hả mà này tôi bắt được nào? Thay ra tôi li ra.
Vậy, cùi vô.
Thì, bây giờ tôi li ở ba này tôi chó à. Nếu tôi tỏ ta nói bọn tôi thôi.
Cái chuyện ra ra vậy hả? Là bây giờ này một kỷ niệm thứ như vậy ở Sapa đâu nhé. Nó sao đâu.
Đúng rồi. Thế thì cái ở là gì? Có đi không phải tóc đó nói ok rồi. Đi đó nè. Thì cho nó hội nó vẫn được làm cái tôi biết chịu nhẹ rồi.
Cái đó 1 triệu là đấy.
Nó 1 triệu là em
Nhẹ nhẹ bằng cái nhẹ tích đó xí nè.
cho con ít họ. Cái mà vô
Nó cho nó này, mới lưu cho nó. Nó này, cái lưu đâu hả?
lúc coi có hai con chúng chết mà cho nó cung mà nếu chỉ nhìn rác
Có tròn tốt nè.
mà cái này con bên tốt rồi nó phải chỉ cuốn hay đúng không này
Cho khăm màu vàng đi cho 5 cái, mỗi chít ra.
còn chỉ có mà tao từng nhận lâu hay cũng là cũng phải từng vô tao bỏ nó mà cũng phải
Xe để từ dùng tao sẽ có năng để họ đau nè. Có thể xe mình dùng đùa. Nếu mà nó còn quá nhiều thì làm trên nữa.
cái thằng này nó
Đây là màu gì?
Màu cam.
Cho màu cam vào gì? Cho màu cam, cho màu cam.
Cho màu cam, còn cho màu xanh này. Màu cam là cái màu trong trong ấy chị ạ, là cái vải trong trong ấy.
Cái này thì
Đừng lấy cái
tí nước. À, ta tí muối. Tí cho cô. Đấy, tí thôi. Tụi sợ nó có mốt rồi. Khó cái này. Cho đây đi chứ khó là. Cho ta hai nó học về. Có lẽ là tôi chỉ sẽ này, tôi chỉ sẽ để thì mua dùng mua than chỉ có chơi thôi.
Batik is a traditional Hmong craft with the skills handed down from generation to generation. For many years, Hmong in Vietnam have worn jackets with batik patterns on the shoulders and sleeves. Batik is also often found decorating baby carriers, while both women and men continue to be buried with squares of hemp cloth. These are especially decorated with embroidery and batik, important for a successful journey to the land of the ancestors. Dee, the Hmong woman who we are talking with today, explains that in Lào Cai village there are only 4 people who still make batik. Dee says that the young generation is too impatient to learn. To do batik well, the craft requires a steady hand and lots of practice. In preparation for making batik, Dee heats some coals to melt the wax she will be using to draw the patterns. The wax starts as a yellow colour and is then mixed with a little indigo to produce a darker colour that will show easily on the hemp cloth. Dee must ensure that the wax stays hot while she works. This means she has to sit by the coals even on rather hot summer days. Once the wax is ready, Dee prepares her hemp cloth and a drawing board to work on. She has to buy her drawing tools in Lào Cai Province, the neighbouring province to the west. She explains that more Hmong people there are still creating batik patterns on hemp, so these tools are more readily available. The pattern Dee is currently working on consists of butterflies, flying back and forth across the hemp cloth. This is a modern pattern that she got from a tourist who was passing through her shop. More traditional Hmong designs include snails in the shape of swirls, pumpkin seeds, fern leaves, and saw blade teeth for cutting trees.
Hai coi ý à chúng có biết không mà ô co là chị ô ní là nhà có cái thì
hay nó giờ khác khi thèm mong rồi ít một chị ổn rồi.
She said no, it's not a Hmong traditional. If some foreigners give her the the picture, design, and she do it.
Nó giờ khác cái nhà đi ổn, ít một chị nào nó này ó.
She said she do that is only to South tourists, not for Hmong people. Because for Hmong people, we don't wear those.
Yeah.
Nó khác cái nhà khác cái kháng ổn.
Hello. Says the Hmong people, some of the tourists asked her to do it.
Tụi con cái khâu ấy mà ông ấy là lo nhặt tụ khởi ở đây à, ta nhìn lại chỉ chủ à.
Once the pattern is complete, the hemp needs to be dyed. To do this, the entire cloth is soaked in a wooden tub of indigo dye. To prepare these tubs, they are filled with indigo plants and water. The plants stay in the water for 3 days, after which the water turns green and the plants are removed. Then burnt limestone ash is added and mixed for 30 or 40 minutes. This is then left for 2 days. Then the water is drained and the residue at the bottom is collected and dried. Next, clean water is filtered through ash from the family's fireplace and the indigo residue is added. This process creates the dye for the hemp. The hemp, with the batik wax still on it, is soaked in this dye for 30-minute intervals, then rested for 30 minutes, and this process is repeated for half a day, and then it's all dried in the sun. The dry cloth then goes through the same process yet again, day after day, for up to 1 month. Repeated soakings are necessary for the dye to soak into every hemp fibre. Once the batik hemp is fully dyed and dried, the cloth is boiled in hot water to remove the wax and reveal the lighter coloured pattern. It's dried once more in the sun and then it's ready for use.
When you come with us to the village, I can show you how my tribe, the Black Hmong, make our traditional clothes. We make our clothes from hemp, which we grow ourselves. Here you see me spin the dry hemp. After that, we cook and bleach the hemp. Here we take it down from the frame. Now I weave the fabric. This is G. She makes the wax drawing. It's made with beeswax from the village. Today, not so many young people know how to make this anymore. When the wax is dry, we dye the fabric with indigo. The plant for the blue color is grown in the village. This fabric will be used for scarf, sleeve, or skirt. It takes about 4 months to make a whole costume. Every family, they have their own pattern. This is how we make the fabric shiny. We put it on a piece of wood and polish it with a big rock like that.